Sturmsoldaten, I present to you an actual appropriate Reichssoldat. Yes, DICE did it.
DICE goddamn did it. Like 20 months after release, they finally fixed the colors and made them proper.
The colors look great on the soldiers. Look at that boy running that Feldgrau. Look at that boy running the deep green Feldgrün. I don't even know if that's an actual designation, but I hope it is.
This is the old version of the color, which is available as an option. I pretty much hate it so much that I don't even want to see and look at it, so goodbye. And then we have the olive drab green, which was used in the Africa Corps and in many M40 variants, in Europe as well.
That looks just fine and dandy in my book.
Check this out, not only did they change the base colors, they changed the camos. This is the initial camo. It looks decent, it's okay. Next up, we got the winter-themed Splittertarnmuster. The assigned colors are not correct, but it looks okay, given the shape is deep. Platanenmuster, which is the precursor to the Flecktarn. In the files, it's actually referenced as a Flecktarn, so it might actually be Flecktarn instead of Platanenmuster. But anyway, it's finally in the game, and you can use it on your soldier, especially on things such as the Paladin. No, not the Paladin, but the Gravedigger, for which it is actually appropriate. And I have to say, it looks very much decent. It just took them 20 months to get to this level, which is incredibly incompetent. And given that they're dropping support for this game, and there's only one more update coming, I don't know how much this undoubtedly great change is going to affect Battlefield 5.
They ignored the orders, and we got overwhelmed.
Look at that. God damn, man. You looking like a double-wide surprise, man.
Some good combinations can be made like this, combining a bunch of stuff. Just one thing, unfortunately, rare, uncommon, and epic skins have not been changed in coloration, which kinda sucks, given a lot of them could definitely use a touch-up, like this one. So when you compare the Hades, as it is right now in its colors, to the standard Gravedigger, you'll see that the standard Gravedigger has much deeper colors.
It's definitely weird looking at camo options for this thing, but, you know, that's an option, and I don't really mind it because it doesn't look so bad. Hey, this doesn't look bad at all. This looks kind of good, yeah.
Speziale has been changed as... No, it hasn't.
Wait, it has. Has it? I have no idea.
Anyway, Provido is also changed in depth. Wanderer has not been changed. Storm Chaser has not been changed. The Valkyrie has been changed. It's the only German item that actually has a cloth material, which is how most German items should be made of, instead of the burlap material we have on stuff like this. Aristocrat also changed, Architect also changed, including the camos. Standard roster, Hunter changed as well, looking nice. The Wolf, of course. This one is much smoother and bigger, and it has a chin strap, as 99% of German helmets in World War II did, and it looks great. Unfortunately, that only applies to the base item of the Stahlhelm. You see that the Stahlhelm remains the same as it was previous to this update, which is a big suck. But unfortunately, that's how it is, and I really don't like this change. But I guess it makes no sense to allocate resources to change minor things such as that. After all, Battlefield 5 support ends with the next update. This applies to the Sanitäter, to the Luftlandtruppen, as well as all other Stahlhelm variants.
Silverdagger boy. Now, of course, as you know, it wasn't only the Germans that received a recoloration. It was also the British Army.
And if you're wondering, the Japanese and Americans didn't receive anything, so... The UK now looks proper. It's incredible that I have yet again misutilized this accent in an incorrect fashion. Oh, yeah. You can finally make an almost accurate tummy. Unfortunately, these aren't correct pants, nor is this a correct uniform, but it looks proper. The colors are damn near perfect. I say that only applies to the first color, as the second one is still pretty ugly, even though it's deeper. Third one, the white from the previous version, and the last one is some kind of really ugly Africa brown. I suppose it may be accurate, but it doesn't look good. Same applies to all base items, including the Highlander, which is actually an American M1942 airborne uniform. And look at this, with the camos of the British Army, some significant changes have been made. This is the one you could have seen in some promotional posters of Battlefield 5 during the beta phase. This one is an actual Denison pattern, and this one is another Denison pattern more commonly associated with the paratrooper smokes. It's actually correct. They gave up on the French patterns from the last version, from the 1950s, and actually put in British patterns, which is a commendable series of events.
Bravo, DICE, you do that 20 months after release, right after you cancel the game. Bravo.
The Phantom, which is a 2015 civilian vest. Which reminds me, I have to make a video on why Battlefield 5 looks like a terrible World War II game. Somewhat remedied by these color changes, although not fully. With Battlefield 5 now dead, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. The Weatherman, American M1965 Vietnam vest, although now it looks somewhat appropriate. The Patriot, the M40 greatcoat, the British Army, with the proper coloration, just the wrong texture. But it doesn't matter, because it looks okay now. The Writer, American tanker jacket? Okay. Sandman, American M1937 enlisted men's shirt, I think? Although it looks quite similar to the British B-37 body dress uniform. So it looks proper, and would be your best bet for making an accurate Tommy Soldier of World War II. Why do I feel like I'm obsessed with this stuff? It's really weird. But I'm not. Anyway, Grifter, American M1942 Airborne, as I said before, which is the same as the Highlander, just without the ammunition vest. Your best bet is the brown indeed. And the Gambler, which is something that I can't identify. Most likely it doesn't fit World War II, but it doesn't matter. If you choose to don this thing, it looks better. As I said, uncommon, rare, and epic stuff, it's not changed.
No changes there.
1920s leather jacket, the Wanderer, changes well, although it's not leather, it's still this straw-like burlap material. The Mechanic, again the M1942, and no changes with the Holy Ghost. Somewhat less than the Germans, the British have received a change to the headgear, but only to one, so I'm going to stick with this. Standard Brody has received a recoloration, which is more gray-green as it was in real life, which is a welcome change. Although it still doesn't look proper, because it doesn't have a chin strap, and it's kind of tilted, and a bit too small.
You're now nitpicking, Drakesden, you're nitpicking, boy. Maybe so, but it's really not hard to get this right. And that's about it, Jimbos. The changes here are pretty damn great, if I may say so myself. But what purpose do they serve in a game that's about to end support? This should have been a things from launch, boy.
We shouldn't have been stuck with some light gray crap that made no sense, but we did. And it looked awful. And now it looks 10 times better.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and eat potatoes. See you later, alligator. I also join my Discord in the description. Thanks.